Chapter 10. Glad all over. At last, the six friends reached their intended finish line, an abandoned petrol station in Walsall, where the boss had promised his mystery prize. A massive Union Jack flag hung from the roof, marking the finish, a patriotic twist on the usual checkered flag. They stepped into the dark, dilapidated garage, the windows covered in black plastic sheets taped up. Dane ripped one down, letting light spill inside. There, sitting in the centre, was a hollowed-out white Vauxhall Cavalier Mark III facelift, identical to Nigel Faraday's BTCC touring car. His name still across the windscreen, sponsor decals and racing colours intact. They slowed, confused. "That's it?" Barry muttered. "We did all that for this?" Tim frowned, stepping closer. "Check it." The car was unlocked, the keys still in the ignition. They searched it, the glove box, the boot, then peered under the bonnet. "There's no engine," Robert said, baffled. Then they spotted it, a scruffy brown envelope tucked inside the empty bay, labelled "For the Winner." They opened it, £80 million in bonds. The group fell silent, the weight of it sinking in. Their walkie-talkies crackled to life. "Congratulations," came the cold, familiar voice, the boss. 80 million? Go on then. Let's see who takes it." A pause. "I wonder how long your little team lasts." The words hung it in the air, heavy with intent. Realization hit instantly. The boss was Nigel Faraday. The group stood in silence, the 80 million in bonds heavy in their hands, Faraday's words still echoing. They glanced at one another. No greed, no betrayal, just understanding. Tim stepped forward, firm. "We're not playing his game," he gripped the envelope tightly. "We end this." The others nodded, together. Without another word, the six turned and headed back to their cars, determined to confront Faraday. They didn't get far. They were suddenly surrounded. Paul, Sophie and the cheater division emerged, armed officers closing in, rifles raised, cutting off every exit. Before Tim could react, Paul and Sophie stepped forward already, recognising him. They revealed they knew exactly who he was, his rally past, his illness, and accused him of orchestrating HMP 12 as a desperate attempt to claw his way back into the spotlight. Immediately his friend stepped in, shutting it down. They defended Tim fiercely, insisting he'd been dragged into it like the rest of them. Then it all spilled out. Their imprisonment at HMP Croker, Faraday, the rogues, the race, everyone talking over one another in a frantic rush to be heard. The officers struggled to make sense of it. Voices overlapped, chaos. Paul stepped forward and blew a sharp blast from his police whistle. The piercing note cut through everything. Silence. As it was held, Paul and Sophie secured the £80 million in bearer bonds. They exchanged a look. Holding onto them would drive Faraday underground. Letting them move might draw him out. They handed back to Tim. "We use it as bait." Before another word could be spoken, the walkie-talkies crackled. Faraday's voice, cold, controlled. "Bromsby 12, my masterpiece. You think this was just a race?" A pause. "I was finished the moment the racing world blacklisted me. Politics, accusations, all of it. So I built something better." His tone hardened. "The £80 million proceeds from my cyber attacks on Birmingham's infrastructure, hidden in plain sight, while the whole country watched you tear through the city. Every camera, every stream, a perfect distraction." Another pause. "And the prize?" he added, almost amused. That was set long before the race even began. My old Cavalier seemed fitting. His voice dropped. A test to see what kind of drivers you really are. As his voice echoed out, Paul and Sophie noticed the drone still hovering above, lenses fixed on them, silently recording. They reacted instantly, rifles raised, shots rang out. One by one the drones dropped from the sky, smashing onto the forecourt. Officers moved in, securing the wreckage as evidence. But it was already too late. The entire race had been recorded remotely on Faraday systems back at HMP Croker. A tense silence followed. Paul and Sophie exchanged a look. The truth was clear. Tim and his crew hadn't been orchestrators. They'd been used. Instinctively, the two officers moved to take Faraday down themselves. We're coming with you, Tim said firmly. You don't know what he's capable of. We do. The officers hesitated. United we stand, divided we fall. The words lingered. Paul and Sophie glanced at each other, then gave a small, reluctant nod. With no time to waste, the uneasy alliance formed. Together they got back into their cars and headed for HMP Croker. The convoy rolled out, Tim, Holly, Barry, Dane, Sajimon and Robert leading, the cheetah division close behind with lights flashing. Drivers and members of the public watched in stunned confusion as they passed. Earlier that day, the RACERs the authorities had been enemies. Now they were moving together. Even the spectators gathered on motorway bridges who had cheered the race before stood in silence as the convoy drove on. News alerts buzzed across phones and social media feeds. Nigel Faraday had been exposed as the mastermind behind Drum Speed 12. His past was now public. The RACERs had been pawns in his twisted spectacle, but now the surviving witnesses were working with the cheetah division to bring him down. Across Birmingham, people watched as the strange convoy rolled through the city toward HMP Croker. Tim made the call. Paul, Sophie and the cheetah division would hold positions outside. If Faraday suspected backup, he might disappear. They needed him contained, unaware. The officers agreed, pulling back and waiting out of sight beyond the prison perimeter. Tim and his crew roared through the reopened gates of HMP Croker. Inside, the atmosphere had changed. Tensed, controlled, the remaining minders stood watch. Scanning the shadows and corridors, they knew something had shifted. As the gate slammed shut behind them, with a metallic clang, the silence settled. Something felt off. One of the minders stepped forward and pulled away a dust cover from the separately parked vehicle. A sleek grey Mercedes AMG GTR, polished, ready, waiting. Barry stared. Bloody hell, that's an AMG GTR. Before anyone could react, the minders moved. They swarmed in, snatching the envelope of £18 million in bonds and shoving the group forward, gripping them tightly as they were dragged towards Faraday's office. The trap had closed.